So being someone who spent time both in consulting and at large companies, do you think there's a metric out there that's being used and maybe too much stock being put in that metric as to whether or not a certain sourcing and procurement practice is being successful or not?
I'll put it differently. I'll say that in lots of cases, there are too many metrics, which makes it confusing for the team. And those plethora of metrics are not always fully measured. And obviously we know what's not measured is not done. So for organizations out there, the key things to determine what are those 3 to 5 metrics, high-level metrics they need to follow and execute against them. For me, key metrics, absolutely, we will need cost reduction. Yes, it has to be there. But don't think of it as just as a price, but think of it total cost, right? TCO. I think that should be it. But that has to be linked with not only the short-term perspective, but from the long-term. How do we manage it from a long-term perspective? 2, suppliers. I think your supplier relationships, your partnerships is going to be key. So think about that. What metrics you have to measure how well you engage with suppliers, to measure how well your resilience strategies or your third-party risk management is, all that kind of stuff, I think is supremely important. 3, how procurement is able to contribute to the overall business as well, right? So what's the impact? And you can think of it in different ways. One really exciting program I did was a balance of trade program. And balance of trade was really about how procurement was able to open doors for our sales teams to engage with new companies as well, because they had the relationships that sometimes sales doesn't have. So really being able to open doors for your colleagues across risk and organization is important. And you need to think through, what other areas am I not even aware of right now where I can provide a value to the organization? As we know, there's so many shocks to the system. We've seen so many shocks the last couple of years. So shocks being pandemics, being geopolitical challenges, wars in different places, supply chain, bridges breaking down, and Suez Canal, and all sorts of places. So expect there to be more shocks. And the key thing you need to think about is, how do we ensure that we're agile, we're resilient, we're able to really support an organization, whatever the shock happens, from whether we have a war room, whatever it is, but just make sure you're ready to be front and center and lead an organization during those challenging times.